Hello, welcome to my new video on this channel where I solve math in different ways to show you how fun it can be, how easy and quick you can solve hard questions, and also how to avoid common mistakes that you encounter on your tests, on your APs, on SAT. How to solve them in the quickest way, how to solve them in the most untroublesome way. Let's start with this set of questions. We have two different systems of linear equations. Here one with two different variables called R and S, and here with two different variables called P and Q. As I said earlier in my last video about system of linear equations, the quickest and most efficient way is to use the to add two different linear equations to each other and cancel out the variables. For example, cancel out the variables of S or for R. Or for example, here we can cancel out Q. And for example, if we had here 3p minus 2q, the coefficient is the number that is near the variable. So any number that is near the variable, like for example 2p, 3q, it's called coefficient. And it's a very important knowledge to have, because in future you will be often asked about coefficients of different variables. And based on coefficients, there are possible ways that there are one solution, there's an infinite number of solutions, and zero solutions in system of linear equations. Okay, so what can we do with adding two different equations, linear equations here, to cancel out the variables? If you guessed it, then well done for you. But look, we have two different variables and only one of them is negative, S, in the second equations. So the most natural, in the quickest way to solve it is just to add those two equations as they are. And we get R plus R equals 2R, and S minus S, S plus minus S is equal to just 0. So here you get 2R, you got 0 here, and when you add 104 to 5, you get 109 equals, yes. So 2R is equal to 109. It means that R is equal to 54.5. So we can give it in a decimal place because it will be a bit easier to read, I think. Okay, so we have solution for R in just one step. If you try to substitute R equals 5 minus S, you would need to then substitute and you would get 5 minus S plus S. And 5 plus S, you will get 2S plus 5, and to the other side, and you will get a very weird different number. Okay, so now we have R, then let's calculate the S. Let's substitute here, or maybe here, because the subtracting part could be a bit easier. 54.5 minus S equals 5. Okay, so it's S, here we have 5, then we just transfer 5 to the left side, because then we can give the S to the right side and change the sign near our variable without multiplying by -1. If I, for example, transferred the left number to the right side, we'd get a big negative number on the right side and a big negative number, no, just a negative sign on the left side. Then we would need to multiply by -1, and we would get at least 3 steps. If we just transferred S to the right side and 5 to the left side, we would get in one step. So we can look to the right side, 5 to the left side, changing the signs, we get that S is equal to 54.5 minus 5, so it's 49.5. Solution in 2 steps. If you tried the substituting method, you would need to try at least 3 to 4 steps, because you would also not transfer in the quickest way, but you would multiply by -1. So whenever you do math, search for the quickest way. Math is very efficient, and sometimes they teach you just to use the substituting method in high school, in 8th class, in 7th class, but this way I think is the quickest. And also it's less troublesome and less prone to mistakes. Because in substituting method there are very often times when you don't transfer the sign, the negative, the plus sign, and it's completely normal. But on tests, when you already have high blood pressure, when you already have a high heart rate, you need to make the less mistakes you make, the better. Because just one, for example, if we transfer s to the right side and there would be still the negative sign, it would be a completely different equation. So math is precise endeavor. And how to be precise? As a humans, that we are very prone to errors. For example, if you ever watch Space Odyssey, made by Stanley Kubrick, you can see that the HAL 9000 artificial intelligence said that humans are prone to mistakes. So what we need to do is to make it as quick and as efficient as we can, because then there's no room for any errors. Okay, we can also check out 54.5 plus 49.5. We just transferred the decimal place here. We would get 50. 50 plus 45, 108. R minus S, 54. We already proved it by here. Okay, so we have the solution. Now, here, do you see the way we can add those two equations using the system of linear equations? As you guessed it, we just add it. We have the negative sign, we have the plus sign here, and in the next short I will show you how to change the equations, how to multiply, divide them, and then multiply by negative signs to make it easier to use this way of adding linear equation, the system of different coefficients. Okay, 5p, 0, so plus 0. You can just add nothing here, but I am using it to make it easier to understand for you. And then we add minus 18 plus 3 is equal to minus 15. And this is very important, because some people at the beginning, when they are just recognizing how they often say how difficult it is, I recommend to you, when you are not used to adding negative numbers with positive numbers, to just on the side write minus 18 plus 3 equals minus 15. And then as you go and exercise those numbers in your mind with different questions, you will get used to it. But at the start I recommend to add it on paper. Less prone to mistakes, efficient way, very precise. Okay, so we get 5p equals minus 15, we just divide by 5, or multiply by the reverse of the coefficient here, so divide by 5 or multiply by 1 over 5. Those two different ways. Okay, and we get here that p is equal to minus 15 divided by 5 minus 3. This is it. P equals minus 3. Then we substitute. Let's see where it would be a quicker way. 2p or 4p, 2p or 3p. We will substitute under these equations, because on the right side the number is lower. So we'll get 3 minus 3 minus 9 minus 4q equals 3. Okay, so here we will transfer 4q to the right side, as you guessed it, because we want to quickly and easily eliminate minus 4q. And it will get us that 3 to the left side minus 12 equals 4q. Because we change the sign here, we change the sign here, and we get that divided by 4, that q is equal to minus 3. And if you are still new to those methods to solving the numbers in your mind, I often recommend the same way. A small annotation where you calculate minus 12 divided by 4 equals minus 3. It's a very quick and easy way to visualize those numbers and then how to calculate them in your mind. That's all for this short. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you understood how to use the differential coefficient way. Thank you very much.